On this episode of Northern News, we'll take a look at the technology use at our high school, our middle school students as they participated in the day of service, check in with a few of our favorite teachers, get an inside look at JROTC work in our community, and look at the annual trip that National FFA Convention in Indiana. All that and more on this episode of Northern News. I'm Ashley Walsh, and welcome back. In our top story, Northern has always encouraged the use of state-of-the-art technology to enhance student learning. This month, we took a look at the use of personal devices and how they teach students the importance of digital literacy. Let's hear from staff and students on their take in this.
Cell phone use in school has been a growing controversial topic in recent years. Teachers' and students' opinions often vary on whether or not the cell phone should be used during school. How do you think students are affected by having their phones on them?
I think if they have them out, they can be very distracted in class. In my classroom, it's kind of a general rule that they're put away unless they're being used specifically for something going on in the class. And so if I'm up teaching, they should definitely have them put away. But they're useful tools also to check Google Classroom, to use in Desmos test mode, things of that nature.
I think having my phone on me positively affects me because it lets me check classroom, see my grades, stay updated on anything that I need to at all times rather than needing a Chromebook or access to internet.
I would say it would positively affect me because since I have it at all times, I'm able to can make sure I have somebody to talk to at all times. And I'd say it affects me negatively because if I'm on my phone too much in class, then it distracts me from learning.
If there's a word I don't understand, I use the dictionary. My planner's on my phone.
How do you think students are affected by having their phones on them?
I think that sometimes students can get very distracted by having their phones on them because there's the constant distraction of text messages coming through.
Although students' and teachers' opinions on cell phone usage differ, it's hard to say phones do not distract students, as studies show that over 54% of teens spend too much time on their phone. Students say it's a great learning tool used to keep track of homework, do classwork, and check their grades, while teachers say they have uses in the classroom but often distract students from learning.
Do you think students should be able to have their phones on them at all times? Why or why not?
I absolutely do. I think phones and devices are such an integral part of modern life that denying them outrightly would be wrong. I think it's our responsibility to teach students when is appropriate and when it's not appropriate to have them in a work or school environment. I think they're critical for research. I think they're powerful tools of communication, and they're super necessary in case of emergency as well.
Do you think students should have their phones on them at all times?
I do think that students should have their phones on them at all times for emergency purposes.
I understand taking the phone on test days or quizzes to prevent cheating, but besides that, I don't really see a reason to, and I think that students should learn how to have responsibility and regulate themselves, not teachers take it for them.
I think it is reasonable for teachers to take away students' phones because they want their students to learn and they want them to be successful in life. And I feel like with the phone, they might get distracted a little too much, so I think it's reasonable for them to take their phones away.
So when my phone is taken, I think about my phone more often than when I actually have it in my pocket because I'm oh my gosh, I could have done this with my phone, but it's in the freaking pocket holder.
Do you think students should be allowed to have their phones on them at all times? Why or why not?
I think they definitely should be able to have them on them as long as they don't abuse the privilege.
Students and teachers have very different opinions when it comes to the idea of using cell phones in school. These opinions are often so different that they agree to disagree when it comes to the topic. But what would happen if we decided to incorporate the cell phone in school without it being a distraction? I'm Emma Fleming, coming to you live from Northern News.
Of all the great things about Northern Burlington, one of the ones that stands out is our great teachers. Every day they bring rigor, dedication, expertise, and caring to their classrooms, often thanklessly. In an effort to pay tribute to them and thank them for what they do, we want to dig deeper into who they are and what drives them in this episode's Teacher Spotlight. Welcome back to our Teacher Spotlight. I'm Ashley Walsh.
I'm Maria Tomasetti. I teach AP Government and AP US 1 Seminar.
What are one thing or two things that you think a student might want to know about you?
2 things to know about me. I am a preschool dropout. I quit preschool. Really got on my parents' nerves, but I demanded to stay home when my sister was born. And I am a spectacularly bad dancer and singer, but you know, I persevere, you know, I don't let it stop me, but yeah, I have no musical talent whatsoever.
Speaking of music, what's your favorite artist or song?
Wow, favorite artist? I could check my Spotify. They just did my year in review. I really like the Killers. I like Mumford & Sons, and I like the Lumineers. And Weezer. I've seen all of them in concert several times, and they put on a good show.
What is your favorite part about teaching?
I like that every day is different. I appreciate that I don't come in and sit down and just do the same rote thing day after day. And I feel very privileged that I get to spend my time with goofy, intelligent, and thoughtful people all day. So,
where's your favorite place to go on vacation?
Wow. I have not traveled much, but I'm a big fan of New England. I like Maine, Vermont. Don't tell Mr. Schreiber because he knows Vermont. And Rhode Island. Those are probably my favorite places to go.
And our final question is, where's your favorite place to eat out?
Wow, I really like to eat food. You'd have to give me a category for me to be sure, but I'm a big fan of going to New York City. I like getting a really nice Italian dinner with just as much carbohydrates as possible. That's probably one thing that I would, and I love sushi. I love to go to Morimoto in Philly and get 30 pieces of sushi and just eat the sushi until I can't move. So that's
awesome.
That's
Thank
fun.
you. Do you have anything else to add?
Well, no, this has been fun. Bye, everybody.
Hi, welcome to Teacher Spotlight. I'm Paige Perez and I'm here with Mr. Taylor. So Mr. Taylor, what do you teach?
I teach 6 courses here at the school. I teach 4 levels of choir. They are the concert choir, the chamber choir, the treble choir, newly named, and the chorale. The top 2 choirs, the treble choir and the chorale, they are competitive. We go out and do competitions and stuff like that. The other 2 courses that I teach are music theory, which is available for anybody that wants to further their career in music, or they really just want to learn more about how to perform it and construct it and create it. And then I have a very nice, well-rounded program, or a course called Music Appreciation. So any kid that wants to just find out more about music and how it's changed over the years and how to create it also. So 6 different classes, Paige.
What's your favorite part about teaching?
For me, it's that moment. I still perform occasionally. I had a chance earlier in my career, I'm going to back up, make it a twofold question really, or a twofold answer from. I had a chance to be a performer, professional performer, and I enjoyed it, and I was doing it for a while as a singer and as an instrumentalist on French horn. It never gave me the satisfaction of when I was actually conducting or teaching kids. For me, when a kid understands a concept, whether it be music theory, or finally learns how to sing properly, or that look in their eyes when you end a piece and you close your hands or your fists together and they just have that look on their face, wow, that was awesome. That to me is the ultimate high as far as music is concerned. It's absolutely wonderful. I can't ask any more than that. That's why I do what I do and why I love it.
What's your favorite food?
Wow. I really like a really good salad with steak or side or whatever. I really like salads. And with a good dressing. Unfortunately, I like the dressings that are usually a little bit fattier with sugar. But I do like salads. But if I had to just comfort food, good old cheesesteak, Philadelphia style cheesesteak, just with the fried onions, just go to town, have a good time. Yeah.
So last question I want to ask you. What is something a student may not know about you?
I shook the hand of Ronald Reagan when he was still president. He came to my high school graduation June 18th of 1986. He came to Glassboro High School, and they picked our school for him to talk about a summit with Gorbachev that summer, and they used our school as platform at my graduation. You can look it up and say Glassboro High School 1986. You can actually find the video on YouTube of me, and you can watch me grabbing my hat and it falling off while I shook Ronald Reagan's hand. And he said, "Good catch, young man." So, never gonna forget it. So.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Paige. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
This month, our students began their participation in No Place for Hate, an initiative of Anti-Defamation League. As a first step, students created a PSA that screened in homeroom and participated in a school-wide activity. Let's take a look.
Northern has no place for racism.
No place for bias.
No place for violence.
No place for religious discrimination.
No place for bullying.
No place for disrespect.
No place for prejudice.
No place for sexism.
No place for bigotry.
No place for exclusion.
No place for intolerance.
No place for envy.
No place for homophobia.
No place for discrimination.
No place for impatience.
Northern has no place for hate.
Northern is no place for hate.
Northern has no place for hate.
Northern has no place for hate.
Northern has no place for hate. No Place for Hate is an initiative of the Anti-Defamation League which enables schools to challenge problems such as racism, sexism, and bigotry in all forms.
Our goal this year is to inflict change and overall progression in the minds of our students and staff.
We would like to bring attention to the many issues accumulating in our school environment.
In order to do this, we need your help.
It is your responsibility to make this school a better place.
Taking a few moments to join in our pledge and participating in all the activities throughout the year will help us move forward.
While pledging to No Place for Hate, we solemnly swear to uphold the values of No Place for Hate.
Today, you are going to be getting a feather in which you will write a positive message about kindness and acceptance.
In decorating your feather, you are pledging your support for No Place for Hate and indicating that you will actively fight against discrimination.
We will be incorporating activities throughout the year that target culture and identity.
The first is a photojournalism Instagram activity called Humans of Northern.
Help us in making Northern a safe and inviting school.
To get involved right now, take out your phones and follow us on our Instagram, our Twitter, and join our Remind.
In only its third year, Northern's JROTC program has won numerous awards for their outstanding work in the classroom. They have also gone above and beyond helping our community out of the classroom, truly putting service over self. Let's go to our field reporter with more.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Williams reporting for Northern TV News to discuss all the good works that JROTC does in our community.
Community service makes me feel excited and helping out the community, and just most importantly, being with my friends and doing the project together is a lot of fun.
How do the community service projects affect you in JROTC?
Community service projects affect me basically because I like helping out with the community in itself, especially with ROTC. I'm part of the fire department, volunteer firefighter, and that helps me with just gaining kind of a friendship with other people with being part of that community. I've learned a lot from doing a bunch of community service with other organizations besides ROTC.
The community service projects affect me as a person in JROTC because it's a lot of friendly work for people that you might not even know, and it's just a good feeling to have to walk in the classroom and just know that over the weekend you did something better than yourself, and you do it for another person besides yourself while you could have been sleeping the other day, on a Saturday afternoon.
Community service impacts me personally because I feel accomplished and I love helping others.
I'm very proud of the cadet staff. They have a sense of maturity that's needed in their positions. They keep the high school out of the core. They execute the vision of not only me, but the ASIs as well, the NCOs, and the overall Air Force objectives, and what I believe Dr. Schroeder and Dr. Lopez expected from the program, along with Ms. Amy Stella. You can always grow the Corps. You can always increase the culture of junior ROTC within the high school. That's important. You want to be reflective of who you are, and we are a collective of this school. So you want to make sure that you represent all aspects, from National Honor Society to your athletic pieces to like robotics, etc. Constant improvement is always a good thing. So we'll never be complete here.
What I'm looking forward to most this year is trying to help out the community a lot, getting more community service hours and earning more ribbons and promoting.
I think I enjoyed painting the indoor pool at Fort Dix the most because it was just fun with everyone. Like, we hung out, but we also got work done and painted the locker rooms, and it came out really nice.
The community service project that I did enjoy the most was my sophomore year when I did the VFW dinner. I had to dress up nice, and I was a server for all these veterans, and they asked me questions, and they were so polite to me, and it was just an amazing time, and I found that really sweet and really heartwarming.
The community service here for our program is very important. Last year, each cadet averaged over 20 hours apiece, and that's far above the national average or requirement of 12 hours when you start to look at distinguished units and things of that nature. From day one, going back to Gab Kenny, we've always been a core that's been set on community service, from Northern Burlington, helping out with, say, maintenance here, to the local area, posting colors and helping like the local food kitchens in the area. I'm very proud of the Cadet Corps here. As a whole, we had over 2,000 hours of volunteer service in 2018-2019. So yes, I'm very proud of that.
Well, I guess that wraps up community service and JROTC and how the program has grown. Now we'll bring it back to the studio.
This past winter, members of Northern's FFA traveled to visit the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. In a one-of-a-kind out-of-classroom experience, we spoke to several attendees, and here's what they had to say.
This past winter, members of Northern's FFA traveled to the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis to learn more about agricultural education.
The National FFA Convention is a huge expo center that has FFA members from all of the U.S. states and territories, so it's super cool to see the different people and where they come from and how agriculture differs from state to state. There's also a shopping mall and a bunch of different workshops set up. So I competed in the extemporaneous public speaking competition, which is basically improv speaking. So they give you a topic and you have 30 minutes to write a speech and then deliver it. So that was one of the things that we did. My fellow teammates and FFA members were able to watch me compete, so that was fun.
We got to go to a hypnotist, we went to a concert, a rodeo, and we had different sessions about leadership and different organizations that we could get involved with to help us out with colleges.
One of my favorite things to take away from the National FFA Convention is seeing the different aspects of agriculture from area to area. So agriculture in New Jersey is definitely different than somebody who lives in Montana. So it's really cool to talk to different people from each state and see what they are like.
Sounds like a great trip for Northern TV. I'm Jayla Orn.
Students in our middle school recently participated in Day of Service to help those less fortunate. Let's head across campus to Evan Zola for more.
This past winter, students at our middle school took part in a Day of Service. Students donated food, prepared sandwiches for the Trenton area soup kitchen, and made bracelets for veterans.
Day of Service, like to help people out, help people in need, and like give them like food and water and all that stuff.
Because they don't have as much as us, and it's giving back.
Helping's a good thing because you don't just want to keep everything to yourself. You want to help people out and like get them back on their feet.
The Day of Service, for me, it was like just a really fun experience and everything. It was really nice to be able to like give back to the community and give back to people that were in need. And I just can't really imagine what it would be like without food. So to get that experience, it was really, really cool and fun to do.
Because we can feel what it's like to help people who aren't as fortunate as us.
A special thanks to all the students and staff who participated. For Northern TV, I'm Evan Zola.
In our final story, we take a look at a senior here at Northern who's using his skills in music and technology to pursue his creative passion. Brett Hubbard has the inside scoop.
This month we go behind the music with Northern senior Luca Parlato to hear about his passion for music, his talent in producing, and how he plans to pursue these interests in college.
I've always played the piano and guitar ever since I was like 6 or 7 years old, but about 5 years ago my brother downloaded FL Studio, and ever since I've just been making music on my laptop with that program. My favorite part would probably be just chord progression, 'cause that's like the backbone of a song, and that like kind of develops the whole feeling of a song. I plan on majoring in marketing in college, and the reason is because there's a lot of job opportunity in marketing, and I've always had an interest in business, and if I pursue like a side career in music, I feel like everything I learned in marketing could always be applied to that as well. So it's overall a beneficial area for me. I'm currently working on music right now. I don't know when it will be released yet. I'm just focusing on the quality of the work so far, but it will be released within the next couple months.
Great job, Luca, and keep up the good work. From Northern TV, I'm Brett Hubbard.
Thanks for joining us on Northern News, and be sure to check out the rest of our programming on YouTube, Channel 19 on Comcast, or Channel 42 on Verizon Fios. And be sure to follow us on Twitter to keep track of what we're up to. For Northern TV, I'm Ashley Walsh.